This is Martial Arts Explorer, exploring practical techniques as derived from classical forms of all styles. I'm Scott Combs. Last spring, we were invited to the Kyusho Jitsu Kenkyukai annual gathering in Madison, Wisconsin. We shot about 8 hours of tape and have some terrific concepts and techniques to share from that weekend. But first, we received an email from a martial artist with a suggestion regarding a throwing technique from an earlier show. Here's Michael.
We got a great letter back from Eugene. He gave us a little advice, and he's a 5th Dan in Shaolin Kempo Karate. I have Jordan jump back and join me. And he was discussing show 24, volume 2. So from this year, if you look back to the dates, you'll be able to find that one. And there's a move in there where we work a knife hand throw. And it's the twisting one where our hands reach up and we drop in and we strike across. Now as we're working this, the basic attack is a haymaker. Someone's coming in and they're swinging the big hand at you this way. What we're doing is we're taking both hands up here, we're blocking, and then we're starting to step in. And as I do that, I make sure I get behind, I anchor my body up tight, I run my body into it, and I twist over. And this is about where I left off with it. Now, Eugene has a good tip. What he said is when you finish this, finish attacking the back shoulder. So as this move comes in, here's my panic block. All I'm doing is, hands coming up, protect myself. Come here, try and move in, and now as I start to push off, finish by extending down and pushing towards the back shoulder. And we worked this for a little bit and it works great. So I just wanted to point that out to everybody. It's a nice little addition to something we already showed you. So as this comes in, block, drop in, and if I snap that back hand down, it forces his body down a little quicker and it helps with the direction of the fall. Thanks, Jordan. So it was a great tip, and we'd love if we get more from other people. We'll make sure and send something out to Eugene. Thank you very much for the advice, and if anybody else has any suggestions, we welcome them. Thanks.
Thanks for the input, Eugene. We'd be happy to send you one of these or one of these. They're t-shirts from our school, Full Circle Martial Arts in Shoreview, Minnesota. All we need is your t-shirt size, color preference, and address, and we'll send one out post-haste. Coming up later in the show, a look at a training product called the Martial Arm. The concept of playing with kata was foreign to me until I met Master Thomas. It has become an invaluable tool for helping us interpret forms. Check this out.
One of the things that I strongly recommend is playing with kata. All right? I love to play with kata. And then sometimes when I'm training people, I'll play with the kata and I'll say, well, let's do what we're going to do now. It's called Nikko Nai Hanchi or something. And then they'll go, is that required for the test? No, it's playing with the kata. The whole idea is what you do is you're trying to break your mind free from the repetition. Because one of the things that happens is once you know what it is, you stop learning what it is. And anything. You start to see what you expect, and so you don't see what the other possibilities are. So we always want to figure out how can we break out of that. And so most people I know have two versions of, there's at least one kata in their curriculum that they have 2 versions of. They have the official orthodox version, and then they have their version. Right, Dusty? Absolutely. Absolutely. So when Dusty does Nai Hanchi, like when I do orthodox Nai Hanchi, it's horse stance all the way. Right? And I'm like doing all this stuff, moving my hips, but it's horse stance all the way. When Dusty does, not when he teaches Nai Hanchi, but when he does his Nai Hanchi, it's like, do you have every stance in there?
We have 5 elemental stances.
You have the 5 elemental stances in your Nai Hanchi. Yeah. And for me, there's 2. There's horse stance and you're crossing your legs. I mean, that's it. Right? However, what I do is I play with the kata like crazy. So I do what I call shiho or 4-direction Nai Hanchi, where I start turning, and I start messing around this way, and I just do it like in a box. And another one, sometimes I do what's called broken timing Nai Hanchi, just because it's fun. Broken timing Nai Hanchi looks like this. How did I get over here? Right? So it's like my hands and my feet aren't lined up anymore. Timing is all screwed up, right? Whoop. Broken timing. It's not because it's right. And by the way, sometimes instructors will come up with this stuff and then they'll call it the secret advanced version. No. You just play with it because it helps you learn. But you keep the orthodox. Return to the orthodox. But then mess around with it. Play with it. Try different things. What happens if I do Naihanchi kata in almost all cat stances? So here's what it looks like. The feet are going to follow a straight line, but if my feet are on a straight line, that means all my motions are here and here. They're all 45 forward. So the kata looks something like this. See how I'm over here? Now comes my favorite part. That, by the way, is the same guy. Notice now I did front kick, but you can also do Naihanchi geri right there if you want. Then here. This I find interesting because I'm twisting, but my weight is actually going away. So now I can't be striking anymore because I'm taking weight away from the blow. This has got to be something else. That's what this does. See, it forces you to think different. Body moving away from a strike. Something else is going on here.
Today we're looking at a very interesting piece of training gear, the martial arm. Peter Sunbai was living in an isolated town in outback Australia without a training partner. Necessity being the mother of invention, he developed the martial arm, which has since taken on a life of its own. In Peter's words, the martial arm is loosely based on Wing Chun, Tong Long, and Jeet Kune Do systems, where control of the lead arm is essential to safely entering your opponent's space. When friends in Sydney saw his design, individual sales took off. There are two different backing boards, the larger and the smaller, a stainless steel mounting bracket, the arm itself, as well as a complement of padded weapons for expanded practice. We were most interested in empty hand practice, and we found a lot to like. Our situation didn't allow for us to mount the martial arm to a wall or post, so we employed some tie-downs to hold it in place on a freestanding heavy bag. This is not an ideal way to mount the martial arm for regular training, but we found it satisfactory for our video purposes.
The martial arm seems to be fairly stable. It's nice and heavy duty. I'm hitting it, nothing's cracking, moving where it shouldn't be. You'll see the arm move here, and it's designed to, because it lets you move and twist like someone's arm might. And that's sort of a neat feature as opposed to using an actual wooden dummy where it's locked in place. You can get a little mobility off of this, and that works out real nice. The other thing you can do is actually take it, put it in a position, and move someone's arm. Maybe someone's arm's out this way, you want to work how to get around an elbow. Well, you can start here and now work on that problem. Striking under triceps on top, different motions giving you different places and stuff like that. I also like the fact that you can grab and move around. So you can work slap parry wrist grabs and come in here, anchor your hand, and then work on different moves coming off of that. It gives you that option, which is sort of nice because it's natural bend. If you really were into it, you could actually mark this with pressure points, give you an idea of where you want to hit. You could put your large intestine 10s, your lung 5s. You could work coming in, striking at large intestine 10 and moving to your next strike. You'd be on the other side and work coming in, or wraps coming back into lung 5. You could put on your heart 2 or your triple warmer points and work into those motions. So it would give you something nice if you wanted to work a triple warmer arm bar. As you move through and you grab, you can work that start and just follow through. So it gives you an opportunity to practice without an opponent. For basic moves, it seems to be great. Standing here, inside counter and punch. It's right there. You have a opponent's arm that's right about the right size. Now we're a little bit of a disadvantage because this rocks a lot because we have it mounted to a heavy bag. I think if it was on a wall, it'd be great because it would be nice and steady. You could use a little bit of a Makawara board, practice your strikes, build your hand techniques, build your hand strength. So overall, I think it's a pretty nice product. If you're by yourself, you don't have an opportunity to work out, or maybe if you want to mount a few up for your lower belts and have them work those basic techniques, working on inside counter punch, working middle counter strike, middle counter grab. I think those would be very nice for beginner belts to go ahead and practice and let you free up your time to teach the rest of your class.
Peter Sunbai says a version that would be more easily mounted to a heavy bag, a leg, and several other ideas are in the works. The martial arm comes in several variations and prices, ranging from $299 to $499 US. Now, if you act quickly, Martial Arts Explorer viewers can get a $50 discount on your martial arm purchase. To receive your discount, head over to the Martial Arts Explorer blog page at the address on the screen and look for the martial arm link. This is important. In order to receive the $50 discount, you must use the link on our blog page. Pretty simple, really. As always, if you want to try these techniques at home, please use caution. You want to make the technique work, but you don't want to injure your friend, and we're not responsible for any injuries that might occur. We love getting email from you. Send it to explorer@martialartsexplorer.tv. For Martial Arts Explorer and Michael Kleinepier, I'm Scott Combs.